self-deceiving thoughts. Okay, this is how we know that this was the curse that was put upon Hasatan. He was given self-deceiving thoughts. All right. Okay, let's read this in context of that. Psalm 72 says, give the king your judgments, O Elohim, and your righteousness unto the king's son. He shall judge your people with righteousness and your poor with judgment. The mountains shall bring peace to the people, and the little hills by righteousness. He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor. Yahusha does it all, doesn't he? They shall fear you as long as the sun and the moon endure throughout all generations. He shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth. In his days shall the righteous flourish, an abundance of peace, so long as the moon endures, right? In his house, there is abundance of peace in our souls. War and craziness may rage all around us, but he has given us a fellowship of the Spirit where our spirits can remain in peace because of the sure word of our heritage and our King. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth. They that dwell in the wilderness shall bow before him, and his enemies shall lick the dust. That was the curse of Hasatan, right? And what did I've got a show that if you haven't seen it yet, you should watch it, because there were so many prophetic insights called Dry as Dust, right? What happened in that religious spirit that likes to this, it's always the religious spirit that wants to attack other members of the household. Think about Korah. I'm more qualified. It's always a religious spirit, right? It's always pride. Okay. And it says, so watch that one, because think about the dust that Yeshua said, when you walk into a city and it will not receive your peace, wipe the dust from your feet and move on. That's what he said. Don't even waste your time with it anymore, right? Because it's just fruitless. It won't produce good fruit. Move on to the next thing. If some people do not want to hear the good news, the gospel of the peace, the Besorah, right? Move on. All right. So he shall have dominion from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth. They that dwell in the wilderness shall bow before him, and his enemies shall lick the dust. The kings of Tarshish and the isles shall bring presents. The kings of Sheva and Seva offer gifts. All right. This is the sevens, right? Yea, all kinds shall fall down before him. All nations shall serve him, for he shall deliver the needy when he cries, the poor also, and him that has no helper, right? If you've got people in that were formerly in the house that are attacking you, lift up your hope. Let your hope level rise, because Yahusha, your bridegroom, sees it, hears it, and he promises right here, he shall deliver the needy when he cries, the poor also, and him that has no helper. He shall spare the poor and the needy, and shall save the souls of the needy, right? Our souls get needy when they get attacked like that, right? It hurts. We're human. We're having a human experience. We are eternal beings having a human experience, and we experience every emotion that goes with that, right? We're not immune to it. But here's our promise from our bridegroom: he shall redeem their soul, the soul the souls that belong to him, that are in covenant with him. He redeems them from deceit and from violence, right? Deceit is that tavek, right? That very thing, that fire in the midst, right? And precious shall their blood be in his sight. If you are attacked to the point of bloodshed, oh, it's so precious in his sight. We're not immune. It rains on the righteous and the unrighteous. It rains on the just and the unjust. And sometimes we take serious blows to the point of bloodshed, right? for his kingdom, for his word, but it does not escape his notice. Be assured it does not escape his notice. So he delivers and redeems our soul from deceit and from violence. Violence, that word is Hamas. It is a violent cruelty and injustice. It comes from the process of someone in leadership position stirring up hatred to the point of dehumanizing believers to the point where others feel justified in being violently cruel and operating in a spirit of total injustice. This is what happens. Okay. All right. Let's continue on with Psalm 72. It says, and he shall live, and to him shall be given of the gold of Sheva. Prayer also shall be made for him continually, and daily shall he be praised. There shall be a handful of grain in the earth, right? A handful of wheat upon the top of the mountains. What does that mean? I will ascend the hill, right? It's the Psalms of Ascent that we sing during the season of Sukkot, right? It's the feast of ingathering. It's the promise of living in his kingdom forever and ever, right? And it says there's going to be a handful of grain, right? When you think about the number of the redeemed that are in the earth right now against the number of tares in the household, much less the wickedness that's gone out, right? Because when we're dealing with wheat and tares, we're dealing with those who present as all being wheat in the house of Yah, but they're not. We're not talking about the whole world. We're talking about what presents in the house of Yah as all being wheat. But the tares never bow because they never develop the fruit of the Ruach, the love, the joy, the peace, the long suffering, right? The true friendship, the true love of Yah's people for each other. They do not have this fruit. And so their proudness makes them very rigid, and there's no fruit, and they do not bow. And you cannot tell until it is harvest time who is who, because the wheat is true wheat, but the fruit has not fully developed. So they are still standing tall too. But at harvest time, the fruit has become so heavy in their life that they are bowed in submission. And it is easy to differentiate between the wheat and the tares. And the angels are sent then to cut down the tares before the wheat is harvested. He said, there shall be a handful of grain in the earth upon the top of the mountains, where those that are praising, right? Those that who have ascended by their prayer and their worship to a mountaintop experience. The fruit thereof shall shake like Lebanon, and they of the city shall flourish like the grass of the earth. It spreads down from the mountain upon others, those who are truly fruitful. It permeates the atmosphere and rains down upon others that are searching. Don't stop praising. Don't let the things that the wicked are doing, in fact, let it increase your praise. That is what I am practicing in my life. The more that I am attacked, the more that I am digging in. The more that Hasatan sends the enemy against me, the more I am lifting up my tongue, literally in praise of the Most High and Yahusha, my bridegroom, for all that he's doing, all that's right, all that's good, all that's wonderful, all that's deserving of praise. This is what is ascending out of my life, because I want that fruit to fully develop. And what happens, the more I do that, the more I gaze upon him, the more it right sizes me and causes humility in my life, so that I am bowing more and more. My husband and I were on a walk the other day, and and something happened on the walk, and Robert and I ended up into a discussion, and he was talking to me about something that bothered his conscience. And at first he wanted to just, leave it alone. And he said, I can't. He said, I had to go back and fix it. And I said, that's so funny, honey. That's exactly what Yahusha is doing in my life. Like the littlest things, like I can't get away with the littlest things anymore. Things that before I would have been able to go, oh, well, not that big of a deal that, I mean, I'm talking little things, but then he's pressing on my conscience. And I said, to me, what he's showing me is it is a signature that I am becoming more and more and more submitted to him. It's a really good sign. It's like, my prayers becoming, yeah, go ahead, bother me about every little thing that displeases you. If there's the least little thing that displeases you in my life, go ahead and confront me on it. Bother me about it. Don't leave me alone. He whom Yahuah loves, he chastens. So to me, it is a huge sign of his love for me in my life. The fact that he's bothering me about the littlest things. It's like, yay, maybe we've gotten rid of some of the big things, right? Some of the big boulders. And now these pebbles that are in his way, things that would still trip me up, right, in my walk. He's like, we're going to deal with these pebbles. We're going to deal with these things. I'm not letting you get away with anything. And I'm like, bring it on, y'all. Bring it on. Keep cleansing me. Get rid of every bit of hay, stubble, chaff in my life, because when I come to present what I have served you with, I want it to be things that remain. I want it to be things that were worthy of you, things that were not about me, were not about pride, that were all about you, all about your kingdom. These are the things that last. He is building a people, right, that are absolutely sold out for him. And this is that handful of grain that's on top of the mountain. It's a good place to be.